Hey, Skylar here from Changeyoucanwear. So last week we made this really awesome, almost 2-carat salt and pepper kite diamond ring for my wife for Valentine's Day. Well, this week we're going to be adding the enhancement to that ring. So it's a whole nother ring that goes around the bottom side of that. It goes around the short side of that V of that salt and pepper kite diamond. And we're going to add some more salt and pepper round diamonds in the top of that band as well. And the very first step, let's get this thing carved out of wax and get ready for casting. All right, let's do it. Okay, nice and flat. Oh, I know you guys are thinking, what about that little guy? We're not going to talk about that little guy. All right, so now we have our marks all marked on here, and it's time to get out Big Bertha. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's gonna be perfectly round. Let's go put it on the lathe. Let's see how that works. We're gonna carve out the rough shape of this with our baby. Okay, so let's give it a final fitting, just to make sure everything's good, and then we'll get this thing invested so we can cast it in the morning. Looks pretty good. Fits really well. The points all line up, which is good. Thicknesses look really close, I think. I always leave it a little bit bigger, just a tiny bit, so I can file any imperfections out of the new casting. So I think we're pretty much good to go. We'll make a mold of this thing by investing it in, well, it's investment, I guess. It's like a plaster. And then we'll throw it in the oven once it dries. And then overnight the wax will burn out, and we'll be left with a void in our mold, so we can fill it with, in this case, white gold. Let's do it. right, it's the next morning. The mold is now empty of wax. We burned it all out and it's ready to be filled with white gold. And what we're gonna do now is grab it out of the oven, throw it in our spin caster, and melt some gold. Looks like it came out really well. So what we're gonna do, cut the sprue off and throw it in the magnetic tumbler and let it get cleaned up in there. Alright, so time to clean the sprue off and then file the whole thing nice and smooth and get it polished. Once we have it there, we can start setting some stones. All right, now we're all set up in our GRS ball vise. It's time to start taking our diamonds and licking them and sticking them on where we want them. And then we'll mark them with a scribe and then use a punch to make a good divot for us to drill. Now we have all our holes drilled. We're going to take these ball burrs and then open the holes up. And then when we get close to our target size of 1.8 millimeters for these stones, we're going to switch to a setting burr just to cut a nice seat in there for the stones to sit in. Now that we have all of our seats cut, we're going to take the stick burr and then we're going to cut in between the holes to start creating little individual beads. So we're gonna cut this way, and then we're gonna cut again this way, and that'll start to divide up little holes in here and create little beads that we can fold over the top of the stones a little bit just to hold them nice and tight in place. Alright guys, that second band that fit with that original ring, it really turned out great. I really enjoyed making it, so I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Make sure you check out my website, Changeyoucanwear.net. It'll be all the other rings and pendants and coin rings and everything else that I make there. And I just so happen to have a 4-carat kite cut diamond that's not spoken for yet. It would make the absolute perfect engagement ring. If anyone's shopping for an engagement ring and they want a really unique ring, make sure you drop me a line on my website and we'll maybe get something put together for you. Thank you guys again for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.